leases. What's the big deal?
We had a.
I read the bylaw.
Yeah.
It was simple. You just draw a line.
I believe the intent for that rent was, as you mentioned, if there was some
Let's have one at a time, please.
that we were doing business with, that we might be able to gain some revenue in that fashion.
Absolutely, and that should be in there. But you can do that with one bylaw.
One of the things that was addressed is that there has to be a document proving someone as a resident for purposes of legal address, ranging from being able to get reimbursed for VA mileage to being able to get your post office box, because if you're a legal resident, then you can get the post office box, have it for free. Being able to access.
You're a resident of Nyland. This is not Nyland.
That's incorrect.
This is not Nyland. That is correct.
No, that's not what I.
Not
Can I finish? I'm aware that we're not in Island, but as an unincorporated part of Imperial County, if you have a legal street address, you get a P.O. box from the United States Postal Service free of charge if there is not home delivery in your area. The problem is that none of us are legal residents and therefore cannot get the free post office box that everyone who has an address is entitled to. So that's part of it. It has nothing to do with whether we're in Nyland or not. It's a federal service. And one of the things that was discussed at a prior meeting is that the lease does not entitle you to a chunk of land. We all share one address, and that one address gives you legal residence rights. It has nothing. The board at no point will establish maps nor boundaries. Everything will be the same as it has always been. You find a spot, you make sure it's okay with the neighbors. If you don't like your neighbors, move. It's the same as it's always been. The purpose was to give everybody a legal address that they can share so that we can receive the benefits of having a legal address.
Actually, the address for the purposes of the membership list I mentioned was Slab City.
No, every individual can apply for their own box with that as their address.
The rent clause has to go. Last free place in America. You get that rent clause in there, man, and the rent goes up. Everywhere I ever lived, the rent always goes up.
Really? Since you've been here?
Everywhere I've ever lived in the United States.
Have you lived here?
Where I've had to pay, you don't understand what I'm saying. Anywhere I've had to pay rent, it's always gone up. So I'm just saying, there's the word rent in the bylaws. Like I said, I read these bylaws, and I'm so goddamn sick of these bylaws. I read them so fucking much. You know? And I see 3 clauses where it says the word rent. And I just want to take a official line item veto. It's what Ronald Reagan used to want. It's not a bad idea. You draw a line through the shit you don't like, and you keep the shit that's good. And it's just 3 lines that says rent. And all we have to do is take those out. We just have to take those out. That's all. I understand what these guys are saying. It's a scary word when you got rent in the bylaws, and you're going to say you're going to buy the property, and then how do we get rid of it?
You have to go to bylaw committee.
No. What's the proper procedure?
To vote.
No, it has to go to bylaw committee. The bylaw, nobody.
Are you saying that anyone out here is for rent?
No, but there's a process that it has to go through, and that process hasn't been done.
Discussion belongs in committee.
And actually, Paul, your proposal wasn't just about the rent, was it?
About everything related to rent.
Well, maybe if you took the pieces of that as one unit to each piece,
My copy of the bylaws, I've already drawn a line through the rent law clauses. It's very simple. You take a pencil and you draw through any line that says rent, and then there you go.
This discussion belongs in committee.
75% of the membership to approve it.
Yeah, well, 75% of Slab City doesn't want to pay rent. I think.
So,
I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm
Paul,
just
if
gonna
you're still
say-
on the bylaws committee, I'd appreciate, I don't recall seeing a report evaluating changes to the bylaws and what the benefits and detractions of those changes would be. So if it wouldn't be too much trouble, if you could write up something like that and submit it to the board, I'll make it an agenda item the next board meeting.
And I will approve it as secretary.
It's got to go through the chairman of the bylaws. Well, I gave it to him, and he can.
I thought you were a co-chair.
Pardon me?
I thought you were the member co-chair of that committee.
No, Danny is.
Oh, Danny. Okay, sorry, my mistake.
Who's the chair of the bylaws committee?
Danny.
Danny.
Danny and Wyatt.
Danny.
Wyatt.
Oh, Wyatt. Oh, Wyatt. Oh.
Well, at any rate, if you could do that, I'd like to see it, Paul.
There was a question you asked before, Paul, that I was told when I went to the restroom that I may have misheard. You had did you ask if I was a member of the Chasters Board? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, good.
Move it. Since I'm chairing, somebody other than you move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn?
Any more questions? Any more questions
Seconded.
before we move to adjourn?
I think we already asked that.
Oh, yeah?
Couple of
Second.
times.
Nobody's got any more questions.
I have one more question.
All right. Let's hear it.
Since the last meeting, has the board figured out what the boundaries for SCCGI are? Or is East Jesus still keeping it quiet what their boundaries are?
I don't know what their boundaries are.
Their boundaries include my camp, I believe.
And mine.
If I can answer, I think Wyatt brought a map from what I understand. 40 acres.
My backyard is West Jesus.
It actually comes way the hell up here and goes way the hell that way.
So it even takes
does
the space we're
encompass
standing
quite a
on.
bit.
We just want to know if they put in for the 40 acres.
Oh, that's my understanding.
Oh,
40 acres.
I don't have any information on that. You'd have to ask them.
That's all I know.
Information on our end from the state concerning.
I believe they're going forward with trying to buy it.
Anything from
All
the state, I
right.
was gonna say.
Adjournment has been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye. Yeehaw.
Okay. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming.
I took everything apart. I gotta get the total thing apart. Sorry, Trisha's dog is trying to get to her.
Hey, all right, Slab
Hey,
City,
hold on a second. Hold on. Let me get right.
live action shot at the board meeting.
I'm the secretary of Slab City.
Yeah, so say it louder.
So
What?
today in this meeting, I don't know, you were here earlier. I was completely shut down, dude. If you look at our annual general meeting, where it says secretary's report, minutes, I was supposed to approve them, and I'm supposed to give an annual report.
The annual report.
I didn't give it. And I didn't approve the minutes. It was taken away from me without any warning. I showed up today and was silenced.
That's amazing.
That's okay.
That I'm going to reuse. Yeah, on top of my. I'm going to reuse.
Yeah, that's good.
Get a picture of me. I dyed my hair.
Get a picture of me.
Right on, check it out.
My buddy that I stood up for that nobody answered.
No one answered.
But we tried.
Well, you know.
Oh, thank you.
That's all I want. were trying to get informed with the carnival at this.
Okay, I gotta go. I'll take care. I know what you're saying. It's gotta be regulated and
Hey, I can see it on TV.
Yeah.
And I've actually been